For the longest time now, the topic of Natsu's scarf has actually been buried under the rug when it comes to the fairy tale community. Up until now, of course. As you guys probably know, within chapter 512, Hiro Mashima dropped an absolutely monumental bombshell on us. We found out that within this chapter that Natsu's scarf was actually made by none other than Anna Heartfilia, Lucy's ancestor. From the beginning of time up until now, Natsu would always say that Igneel made his scarf, and personally, that really did not make any sense to me whatsoever. I mean, like, a dragon cannot possibly make a scarf like that, so I actually thought that Zeref made Natsu's scarf for him. However, when it comes down to it, neither of them made the scarf for Natsu, and in fact, Anna Heartfilia made his scarf. Now, for me, this is honestly quite confusing, seeing as Natsu always claimed that Igneel made his precious scarf for him and gifted to him, and that is why he loves his scarf so much, because it's from his father figure in life. For this, though, I actually have two ideas as to what could have actually happened to cause Natsu to think that his scarf was given to him by Igneel. The first idea I have actually has to do with the Dragon Soul ritual, a ritual that was actually revealed to us within chapter 510 that actually took place within Fairy Tail. Now, Zeref actually said that this ritual most likely was the cause for the Dragon Slayer's lack of ability to recall their past. In that case, Natsu most likely, the ritual actually caused him not to be able to recall the facts that Zeref was his brother, and also that his parents died over 400 years ago due to the embers of a dragon. However, in the grand scheme of things, I really don't think that this is the most logical thing that could have actually caused Natsu to think that Igneel gave him his scarf, but I do still consider it a definite possibility. But when it does come down to it, you really have to question when the Dragon Soul ritual actually took place, seeing as we really don't know that, and it was only brought up within the chapter. But during the ritual, I think that it's possible that his memories could have actually been tampered with to cause him to inevitably believe that Igneel gave him his scarf, when in reality, it was Anna. My next theory, however, in my personal opinion, does actually make a lot more sense to my previous theory, but before I actually talk about this theory, I actually kind of want to delve back into Natsu's scarf and what its actual purpose is. Personally, I've always thought that Natsu's scarf is just more than something to remember Igneel by, and especially when his scarf actually saved Natsu back in Tenro from Zeref's contradiction magic, I've always just had this kind of feeling that there's more to his scarf in the grand scheme of things. So essentially, I believe that Natsu's scarf actually has an underlying purpose that he's unaware of at this current point in time, but that both Zeref and Anna are actually aware of, and the purpose is to protect him from Zeref's magic, much like what we saw within Tenro. In doing so, I believe that it's possible that Natsu's scarf is actually supposed to allow Natsu to have an edge on Zeref during a fight between the two that would inevitably cause Zeref to have his end goal in life of dying. And with the knowledge that Anna actually created the scarf, I think that she could have actually utilized her magic as a celestial mage, and in doing so applied some form of light magic that contradicts the dark magic, that of which Zeref actually has, with the end goal of giving Natsu an edge in the fight between him and Zeref. With all of this in mind, I do believe that it's likely that Natsu's scarf actually could have been gifted to him by Igneel. However, it's not made by Igneel. What I mean by this is that Anna could have actually created the scarf after Natsu and the other Dragon Slayers entered the Eclipse Gate that would inevitably send them 400 years in the future, and she could have actually entrusted it with all the Heartfilias after her, much like how she entrusted the Heartfilias with the task of opening the Eclipse Gate when it came time to do so. And this would have inevitably left the scarf in the hands of Layla Heartfilia, the Heartfilia who opened the Eclipse Gate to let the Dragon Slayers out 400 years into the future. So I think that it's possible that with this, that the Heartfilia family knew Igneel, and when it came down to Layla opening the gate, she also gave Igneel the scarf to later give on to Natsu as a way to prevent him from being vulnerable to Zeref's magic. Nevertheless, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, rating to show your support, and subscribe if you're new. Peace.